I can hear my neighbor crying. I can't breathe. Now, I'm in the struggle. And I can't leave. Calling out the violence of the racist police. We ain't gonna stop till my people are free. We ain't gonna stop till my people are free.
Black heaven is a place where...
You are listening to John Henry Media Network in the United States of America. Our podcasts get active participation for the following top countries: the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, South Africa, Canada, Israel, Brazil, Bahamas, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. Don't forget to follow us, share us, leave a comment and download episodes. Remember, this is the right place to hear very powerful messages and music for Black America. Because we know that your message might awaken yet another sleeping giant. So, contact us today at jahu.enterprises@yahoo.com. I say again, that's jahu.enterprises@yahoo.com, and get your music, message or information heard by millions for a generous donation today. I can hear my neighbor crying. I can't breathe. Now, I'm in the struggle. And I can't leave. Calling out the violence of the racist police. We ain't gonna stop till my people are free. We ain't gonna stop till my people are free.
Get your message or business promoted on John Henry Media Network. Make contact today. Use this email address, jahu.enterprises@yahoo.com. That's jahu.enterprises@yahoo.com. Again, that's jahu.enterprises@yahoo.com. For specific details on submitting your audio to make it happen, it will be aired on our very next episode for a small donation of your choice. So let's make it happen right now.
You are listening to John Henry Media Network, and we know that truth is the new hate speech.
And so my next question is, how is it that although reality contradicts the narrative, white people, despite committing crimes against every racial group for hundreds and hundreds of years, despite the fact that they slaved black people, they put the Chinese and the Japanese in concentration camps, they wanted to kill the Jews and burn them alive, they even had racial issues against the Italians who were white too, they raped and pillaged the Native Americans, they did all this since the beginning of time. They are clearly your number one mass shooters. They're your biggest rapists. They're your biggest serial killers. We see right here with the crime statistics, they commit way more crimes than any racial group. Even the black people that they want to sit there and put in the media as these crime-ridden villains, they commit more crimes than these people. They are the number ones in inbreeding and incest. They're the number ones in bestiality. They're all your mass shooters. They literally are morally and spiritually bankrupt, and yet they were able to convince you guys that despite reality, despite all the evidence out there to the contrary, they were able to convince you guys, not me, because please, I'm not fooled for a minute. I know who we're dealing with. You guys are just somehow confused as to who you're dealing with. Despite all the evidence to the contrary, they were able to convince you guys that they are the example of morality and spirituality, and that you should just strive to be like the white people who can't even go out in the sun without burning. They have somehow convinced you guys that they're not only superior to you morally and spiritually, but you should actually model your behavior after them. Oh, but don't be violent, although they're extremely violent. forgive them. Forgive. Just forgive. Don't kill people. Don't kill white people. Don't defend yourself when they're killing you. Don't speak out when they're shooting unarmed black men. Don't speak out when they go on the scene and they shoot a 12-year-old little boy within 2 seconds of arriving on the scene. Don't do any of that, despite the fact that we obtained everything that we did by doing that, and we're still spiritually and morally superior to you. But don't do that. Don't do that to us. Don't fight out against us. You just don't do that. Because we can still do it. We can still be rapists, and we can still slave and torture people for the fun of it and get delight and joy out of it after going to church to praise and worship our white Jesus. After doing that, we can hold events where we're going to take our kids and we're going to show them how we torture people. Not just kill them, torture them. Torture them for hours until the crowd gets satisfaction out of seeing that person get tortured to death. We're going to take our kids to that event, and we're going to have them watching it, and we're going to let them know that this is good too. So generation after generation after generation, we can spread our evil demonic virus, and we're still going to brainwash you guys. And we're going to make you guys think that you should all be like us because we're morally superior and spiritually superior to you. And you should worship our white Jesus too. Even though our white Jesus has condoned everything that we did. And we and Christopher Columbus slaughtered and raped the Indians in the light of the Holy Trinity, I believe he said. We're still going to do all this, and even though we know this is psychotic and demonic, because in the future we're going to try to hide it, we're going to say that the slaves were immigrant workers, we're not going to tell you willingly that we were raping them and torturing them, and we got thrills out of it. We're just going to tell you slavery was what it was. Get over it, though, because, that was 500 years ago. Although, it wasn't 500 years ago. But we're going to tell you that because we know that you're stupid enough to believe it. You're not going to do the research. You're going to believe what we tell you because we said it and we're white, so it's right. That's their attitude. That's their attitude. And they have that attitude because it's working. They have that attitude because despite the fact that they've lied to you, despite the fact that they are your number one psycho killers and psychopaths and rapists and mass shooters and murderers, despite all that, if you guys bring up their history, they're just going to tell you to get over it. And you know what you're gonna do? You're going to pass that message too. I don't know how many black people I've known to go in there and say, why do you keep complaining about slavery? Your ancestors weren't slaves. Actually, yes, they are. And your average black person don't even actually know who their ancestor was. So they wouldn't know if their ancestors are slaves or not. Because if they can't even research some basic crime statistics, we know they're not doing ancestry reports to see who actually their ancestors were. Because if they did, then they would know how close slavery actually is close to their family, and they would know that their immediate ancestors were probably slaves. So they'll try to say, oh, that was 1,000 years ago. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was less than 150, but whatever. Most of you aren't reading books, so I know you're not doing math, because math is actually harder than reading. So you probably don't know that slavery was actually less than 150 years ago. And then after slavery, we had 100 years of Jim Crow and segregation and lynching and torturing and raping and cutting black men's dicks off, because obviously white men have this huge penis envy. However, we're going to forget all that. As a black coon, I'm going to sit there and say black on black crime and white people aren't bad, and just because I'm hugged up with a white woman, although the white women in history were raising the white men, although I'm hugged up with a white woman, the world's not really that racist. Although, oh yeah, 2 hours ago, a 12-year-old boy just got shot and killed within 2 seconds of the police arriving. But this isn't about race. Black people just commit more crimes, despite the fact that the FBI crime statistics actually show that no, white people commit more crimes. Oh, well, the percentage of black people commit more crimes, so then we're going to say black people commit more crimes because the percentage is that way. Although we know that black people are 12% of the population, so there's literally no possible way they could be committing most of the murders. However, we're going to push that narrative because we already know that you're not going to think for yourself. You're not going to do the research to the contrary. So we're just going to say whatever you want to say because we know you're going to believe it. You're going to run with it. You're going to tell your family. You're going to tell your friends. You're going to post it on Facebook and Instagram. So now you're going to be the deliverers of our message. And you're going to keep this racist perpetual cycle just going over and over and over. The only time this is going to change is when you guys actually get smart and learn to think for yourself. Stop letting racism and the same stupid people that lie to you about your history, the same stupid people, demonic, morally evil and corrupt people who slaved you, raped you, tortured you, at the end of the day, they don't really care anything about you. To them, you are just another indispensable or expendable black person that, you know, when they decide they want to get joys and thrills out of killing somebody, you might be the next person that they pick. Because let's not get it twisted. You really think that they will be out there shooting on sight if they really didn't enjoy killing people? Because you don't have to shoot somebody and kill them to apprehend them. There's a lot of different parts of the body that you can shoot to disable. You don't have to shoot to kill. If they're shooting to kill an unarmed person, you can best believe they're getting some kind of thrill and enjoyment out of that. Why do you guys think that although slavery was forced to end and these people had to go to war to end it, why do you think that that mentality just flew out the window? It didn't, because you know why? It would defy human behavior. People do not change things that they enjoy doing. They only find ways to still do what they enjoy doing because they didn't want to stop doing it in the first place. That's just like if I went and told the average person, you can't have sex anymore. That person is going to find a way to have sex. Even if sex was outlawed, people are going to find a way to have sex because they enjoy having sex and they don't feel like they should stop. They don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. So all they're going to do if it becomes outlawed is they're going to find ways to hide it. But they're still going to find ways to do it. And that's why you have a system that is built where a white cop can go out and they can kill a black person and they can get away with it. And I don't think most of the people in America have that mentality that it is okay to kill people. I think that they are so stupid that they actually, despite what they are seeing, they will let somebody tell them what they seen. Just like that video of the black girl that just got thrown around by the cop. So Fox News saw the same video that we all saw, but somehow, even though I saw her sitting in a chair doing absolutely nothing, and that's actually in the video, they can continue to say, oh, she was disruptive, you don't know what was going on. Yeah, we do know what was going on because we watched the same video that you watched, and if we watched the same video, then we saw her sitting in the chair. Last I checked, sitting in a chair and then being disruptive. So, how was she being disruptive? If you can't see what's in the video, just like we can't see what's in the video, then you don't know what's going on any more than what we know what's going on. You can only go by what's in that video. And what's in that video is a girl sitting in the chair and then a big white cop come and drag her out of it. How, as a black person, are they able to convince you that a girl that you did not see being disruptive was being disruptive, although they didn't see any other video than what you saw? That is the problem. That is the problem. The problem is that media can convince you that you saw something different than your eyes saw, although they saw the exact same things that you saw. I need someone to explain that to me, because they do that in every one of these videos, and everyone still carries their same narrative. They will still say, oh, this person was doing this, oh, this person was doing that, oh, they said she had this, and they said she had that. Why are you believing still things from people that you already know lied to you? Did you really think that they're going to stop lying? Because if they start telling you the truth, then they're not going to be able to remain to keep the control. If they tell you the truth, they can't keep control. Period. So the bottom line is, why do you refuse to think for yourself, black people? Because I really don't care, damn a white person, because they're not being killed like we're being killed. So I don't care about what they want to believe. They can believe what they want to believe as far as I'm concerned. My question to you, black people, is why can't you do your research and not believe everything that you're told? Are you really that lazy that while you're streaming through Facebook or uploading selfies on a computer, you can't look up an FBI website? You can't critically analyze a video enough to see that you saw the same video that Fox News saw, and that you saw and you saw a girl sitting in a chair and then get drug out of it, but they can tell you she's been disruptive? How? How is she being disruptive sitting in a chair?